Welcome to this short presentation from the National Child Safeguarding Programme on the procedure for responding to allegations of abuse against workers and volunteers. This presentation is for early learning and childcare services in Ireland. The procedure for responding to allegations of abuse against workers and volunteers is a specified procedure under the Children First Act 2015. All early learning and childcare services are required under the Act to develop and implement this procedure. This is a dual reporting procedure, meaning that there are two separate procedures that must be followed. It is essential that all workers and volunteers are familiar with this procedure to ensure that all child protection and welfare concerns are reported to TUSLA without delay. Every early learning and childcare service should have a code of behaviour, and there should be an explicit declaration in every organisation's code of behaviour about workers' responsibilities to report breaches to management. A breach of the code of behaviour could be poor practice by a worker, or it may be a child safeguarding concern. Both situations must be responded to and cannot be ignored. In keeping with the key principle that the welfare of the child is paramount, all workers should take appropriate action to ensure that children are safeguarded. Child safeguarding concerns must be reported to TUSLA Social Work Department following the service's procedure for responding to allegations of abuse against workers and the service's reporting procedure. Depending on the nature of the concern, it may also be necessary to report a concern to An Garda Síochána. An allegation may be made against a worker or volunteer who has behaved in a way that has or may have harmed a child, has possibly committed a criminal offence in relation to a child, has behaved towards a child or children in a way that indicates that they may pose a risk of harm, has behaved in a way that is contrary to the service's code of behaviour for workers and volunteers, or who has behaved in a way that is contrary to professional practice guidelines. Firstly, we will look at the child protection and welfare reporting procedure. It is usually the designated liaison person who is responsible for reporting child protection or welfare concerns to TUSLA Social Work Department following the organisation's child safeguarding reporting procedure. A reporting procedure for child protection and welfare concerns is also a specified procedure under the Children First Act, and all early learning and childcare services must have this procedure in place. The priority is to protect the child and ensure that no child is exposed to any unnecessary risk. The agreed reporting procedure to TUSLA must be followed without delay, including informing parents where appropriate. Management must be alerted to any allegations made against staff members, and due regard must be given to record keeping and confidentiality. Next, we will look at internal personnel procedures. A second person, generally the employer, should deal with the person subject to the abuse allegation in relation to employment or contractual issues. It is imperative that protective measures proportionate to the level of risk are taken, and there should be liaison with Gardaí and TUSLA where appropriate. The person subject to allegation of abuse should be informed of the allegation made against them and should be given the opportunity to respond. Fair procedure and rules of natural justice must be followed, and parents and carers must be informed of actions planned and taken, and all stages must be recorded. Services should consider seeking legal advice in relation to their internal personnel procedures. Early learning and childcare services can find further support on the National Child Safeguarding Programme website, including the Child Safeguarding Resource document, which provides supports for services to develop and implement their child safeguarding statement, policies and procedures. Services can also download the infoblast on the procedure for responding to allegations of abuse against workers and volunteers. Thank you for your time.